Hello, it's James here, and I'm going to talk about another big aspect of the awakening, and that is the ringing in the ears. Because a lot of you are mentioning about this. It's getting this high pitched sound that's going constantly, and I thought I'd talk a little bit about. Don't get me wrong, I don't have all the answers at all by any stretch of the imagination, but from my own experience, I'm talking from on this ringing in the ears. It seems to come on particularly strong when you connect with another person. Now, we're quite away from what we once were, what we originated from. This ringing in the ears is actually a language that we can't quite understand yet because we don't have a wide enough frequency to actually hear what is being said. It's just coming through as a high-pitched noise. But you'll notice that it will increase and decrease depending on what's happening. Now, maybe some of you could try tuning into it. What I've found to be the case is that it's a language not in the sense as like I'm talking to you now with vocal sounds, or if you think of it like a text message or a message on Messenger, it doesn't convey the feeling. But this ringing in the ears is a language that speaks in feeling rather than words. And in time, it's going to become easier. It will make a lot more sense. It won't just seem like this, that horrible noise. Well, it's not actually a horrible noise, but it's certainly distinct from your three-dimensional hearing. So just wanted to clarify that. As far as I can see, that's what it is. I have tried tuning into it. I can't actually make out specific words, but just by observing and experiencing it when it does happen, like with connecting to other people, particularly of the same blood group, soul family if you want to call them, it comes through very strong. It also comes through very strong when I feel compelled to pass on a message to a specific person, or if they've contacted me and we start talking, it will suddenly go very loud. So I think it's an indicator of something much more, at least. It's just a case of opening ourselves up, I believe, and we're starting to understand it a lot more. So I just wanted to put that out there. There's something else I'd like to talk. Now, a lot of you are not doing yourselves any favours because you may have feelings or a particular character in history, whether it be a deity or whatever, may be resonating very strong with you. But if you were to go around saying, I was Zeus in a previous life or I was Isis, it's going to get a lot of people's backs up. And let's face it does. The 3D mind will say, out of 8 billion people alive today, what are the chances of it being you or I? Well, perhaps it is the spirit of these deities and things that is coming through to many of us. So it's not just a case of, well, it can't be me. Maybe there's more than just one of you with this same deity in spirit that has been handed down. After all, we are all connected. If you follow a family tree back far enough, the number of families you will connect in with in the last, say, 200, 300, 400 years. You think how this time scale that we're talking about, of thousands of years. It's said that everybody is a descendant of Attila the Hun, for example, or Henry VIII. Statistically, could be. So it stands to reason we could all have inherited something else from another being. So if you're feeling like that, then just acknowledge it, because it's holding you back. You're recoiling in horror from it almost, and you don't know what your powers are going to be, what these gifts are going to be from this awakening. I can see it in some of you, and there's a few of you I've actually said, in the future you will be doing this. I've even said there will be books written about you, centuries and centuries ahead. And no, I don't see into the future, because we're not talking about linear time in this three-dimensional world. We're talking about 5 dimensions where time consists of past, present and future all in one, because time is circular. So everything that was already has been. It's a difficult one to get your head around if you're thinking in a 3-dimensional sense. But when you consider how vastly different the 5th dimension or the 5-dimension world or realm is from this one, there's not a lot in this reality that makes sense, and it doesn't have a direct equation in the 5th element. So just keep that in mind as well. That's all I'm going to say on this. And just believe in yourself. Know yourself more than you've ever known before, because if you understand yourself, it's going to help you to help others as well. And that's basically what we've got to do in one form or another. We're not all going to be psychics. We're not all going to be mediums. We're not all going to be healers. But there are plenty of other roles to be played out in the future. And let's face it, we haven't got identical gifts and skills in the occupational world in this 3-dimensional world. Somebody might be an excellent painter and decorator. Another person might be useless at it, but they might be better at carpentry, for example, or they might be better at doing calculations in the head. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. So does it not make sense that in 5-dimensional sense we will have differing gifts with overlaps? So again, just let this process take place. It's working at its pace that is going to suit you. You can just make it easier by going with the flow on this one. I think I've said some of this before, but I think it needs reiterating, because at the end of the day, you're your own worst enemy if you're doubting yourself, because doubt is a fear. You need to be believing in yourself, not doubting yourself, because it is doubt that will hold you back. And that applies in this 3-dimensional world as well. If you're going in for a test and you're viewing it as a test, you're setting yourself up to fail. But if you view it as a demonstration, and where you can say to the examiner, look, I can do this, I'm going to show you that I can do this, you're going to pass. So if we put that equation into the spiritual awakening, we will get there collectively, because this is not about putting one person on a pedestal. This is something for all of us, because we all want, well, hopefully we all want happiness and peace, and we have it within our power to bring that about. We're coming to the end of this 3-dimensional era, and this is our chance to shine and take back control of our destiny. And I think this is definitely worth going for. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. As an ideal, it's a wonderful idea. On that alone, it is worth going with this and letting things happen. And you'll begin to see with this new wave that you'll find you do have gifts that you don't even know about yet. And it is going to be magnificent. And these gifts are going to be different in each person. So you're going to need to be working in teams, cooperating with each other, not competing against each other like this world will have us do. Because the 5D world is very different from this one, and it will benefit us greatly. And not just us, every other life form on this planet will benefit. It's just up to us what we do with this. We still have freedom of choice. We must choose wisely and do the right thing. which is not harming another person or another being or any living thing. Anyway, thank you very much, and I hope that has clarified a few points for a few people out there. Just believe in yourself. You are truly awesome, as I've said before. Thank you.